We're jumping a little out of schedule here. This is not our typical Tuesday sundowner. Today we are talking to the two good-looking gentlemen here. You have them on screen. Lucas and Cornelius, welcome.
Hi.
Thanks for having us. Hi, Marcus.
And we're trying to answer a very prominent question that I can actually understand very well. And the question is all this Patrick and Marcus chat, is this plain theory, or has somebody ever implemented that? I mean, apart from Patrick and me claiming that we did it, is there any independent third party who has implemented this? So we think there's a lot of value in talking to the real deal people, right? Those who really do it day to day. So I'm super glad that you guys can make the time today. And we said, like, there's no value in me doing more of the talking. So we have a few questions for you guys to help us understand if your sales process turned upside down in any way in terms compared to what you were planning. And one announcement before we forget that, especially if you're not in the live call here, if you're watching this later, at the end of this episode, these two young gentlemen here are giving away one of the rarest gift they have, their own time, and they are offering you a free interview. You can do a free interview, including all of the cutting and exporting and beautifying and all of that. It will be a fantastic thing for you guys. You can get that for free at the end of this video, okay? So stay tuned for the details. That's it for today from my side. And now you guys, I want you to tell us some along the lines of has someone ever tried this and evidence. We found that this quote from Stephen Covey may be a good opener. And the quote is, "I'm not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of
my decisions."
Yes, tell me.
Yes, please start.
Okay, then I'll start into it. Okay, yeah, so I think when we first met, Marcus, we actually were a product of our circumstances because, funny enough, our company developed out of another startup idea we had. And we had to do with videos in that first idea too, but it wasn't a video business. So only circumstances brought us to really doing video business. And circumstances also brought us to you, which was pretty nice because that really brought us away from being led by circumstances and but rather being led by decisions, because you were the first person ever to ask us, okay, circumstances brought you here and that's all nice and it looks all good and it seems to work, but is it really what you want to do and how you want to do business? And yeah, that was a really important decision for us to think about this question and to take it in our hands, really, and yeah, to make the decision to rebuild rather our business with you and to think about it in a completely different way. And I think you can all imagine that changed everything.
And from my point, I mean, we almost didn't know each other, and we turned everything upside down in your shop, right? And that is, it's most people would consider that a pretty crazy move, I think. And yeah, we're talking hard decisions here. Lucas, what do you say? What were some of those hard decisions in addition to what Cornelius just said?
Yeah, I think, like you said, everything turned around when we met you first time because we turned our whole business around. We started with project business, so we asked for people, hey, do you want to have a video? And we said, okay, what do you want to have? So we did project business, and the people told us, the people that didn't know actually what they need in videos and which videos are working, what we have to do and what is good. And that was at this time, I think, when we started, I think we met like 1 year after our founding, and at this point we were at the point that the red hat was like here. We have some space to get more angry, but yeah, we were near on the burnout because it was so hard to work out all those projects and those individual things, because the people that we worked for, they all wanted individual things and they did the rules and everything. And the first decision that we did when we met you was, okay, who has to make the rules in this game? Who is the guy who knows which are the right videos for your marketing? Who are them? Is it you, the dentist, or the, I don't know, what did we work with, the guy with the little graphic shop, or who is it? It's the guys who produce the videos, and it has to be the guys that produce the videos who make the rules and say that's good. And yeah, that was a hard decision for us because it brought us away from this huge projects, because we actually took a lot of money for those huge projects, and it was easy to, yeah, we produce a video, then we give it to the customer and he does what he wants to do. But after this situation, when we give him the video, he posts it on Facebook and on his website, and then the thing is over, and he will say, guys, that doesn't work. Yeah, why doesn't it work? Because you didn't fucking do anything for this video to get seen. And yeah, it was a hard decision for us to get off this idea of projects, because we thought, man, there is a lot of money in, to get to this point where we say we have a product that is every time the same for every customer, but in this sense, we can develop the product. In the project, you can only develop the project and the things in the project. But if you have a product that's always nearly the same for every customer, because the videos are not so different from a dentist to a car shop, what he needs in videos, it's the same pains that he has to, not the same pains, but it's pains that he has to deliver, it he has to message to his audience. Yeah. And yeah, that was, I think, I hope that it's understandable what I said, but it's the change from project to product business for me. That's how I would tell it in German. I hope it's understandable in English as well. Yeah, that's my answer.
And how did that change ownership of the actual result, if you will, Cornelius?
Yeah, so I think that's the same point as we just said with Lucas. I mean, when we started, we planned those projects with our customers, and we asked the customer, okay, how should the video look, and what should we say in it, and then we brought it out, and he posted it on his website, and then he asked us, okay, guys, so you told us online marketing would work, but why doesn't it work? And yeah, then we came to the idea, okay, maybe we want to do it different. So after the talk with you, maybe we want to take over more control about how the video should look and how we go out with this video, so that we are actually in a comfortable position being held accountant for the result in the videos. Because when we can really plan it, when we can build up the know-how to produce good videos that really convert in a later step, then we're happy to say, okay, make hold us responsible for the effects out of it. But if the customer is planning the video and obviously has not so much of a clue of marketing, then I don't want to be held responsible for the effects of the video. So that really changed for us, and as you can imagine, it made our life a lot easier.
You see, my head is white all over.
and
that's a sign for
that's a sign for I'm really chilled. I'm really chilled.
Yeah, and it's funny because you're like, I mean, I imagine that every founder out there has been at a point where they were thinking like, hey, boy, wouldn't it be just wonderful and exciting if we had, like, built something, a product, and once we have built that invention out, right, and to its maximum beauty, they will come, right?
Yeah,
there will be a downpour of buyers flooding my business. I will need a stick to fence off all the customers, right? So what if we just had this product, right? And then automatically something starts inside of you. You can feel it, right? It's coming. It's like, but what if it sucks? What if we're not good at it? So in terms of releasing something you think of as a product today, and it's probably we can go into some detail about the package. I understand that you're taking charge of the result. You want to make sure as much as you can that there's not just video coming out of the process, but something that creates a result for your customers, something that creates attention for them, sympathy, new customers. And especially now when the shop floors are closed, gives them a chance to connect, right? And they only have, this is the only chance actually they have, apart from, I don't know, Facebook, email, that don't allow for a structured approach and where they don't have the advertising budgets and they don't actually, as soon as you think about it, it starts to be complicated. So this is like the only fully this is the drive-through channel, if you will, right, that you are offering them.
Absolutely.
And so in terms of turning that into a product, how afraid were you guys that it's not perfect?
We were, in the first time, we were, I have to say it like this, we were fucking afraid because
scared as hell.
It's scary. It's scary if you go from yeah, we produce something, we put it over to you, and then it's over for us, and we don't think about it anymore, and we get a lot of money for it, and then we say, okay, now I'm responsible for my results. Now I have to deliver, because the thing that I deliver is no more video. The thing that I deliver to my customer is new customers, and that's a whole different story. The fear was really big because, I mean, we did advertisements before. We learned a lot about advertisements for ourselves, but to do it for the others, to have the system behind, that was new for us, and we had to build it up. You know, that was the thing, and that, yeah, there was a lot of fears inside that.
And also, when I can jump in there, also a thing of like what you just said, this fear of not being perfect when you go out. We always had this thing, especially in the project business, when we went out. Okay, we talked for months about the project and how the video should look and what should be the content and stuff. And sure, you want to be perfect when you go out. Then, I mean, you want to deliver a perfect product to your customer. But I think it's one thing to say, okay, I want to deliver a good quality or like the best quality I can, and in being perfect or trying to be perfect, because big surprise, there is no such thing as being perfect. I think none of us can really be perfect, and so it doesn't make too much sense to wait or to work until you think you are like that. And I think there was this one big learning we had from you. I don't know if it was really you saying it or if you got it from someone else too. But this one day when we talked about everything, you told us, guys, if you're not ashamed about what you posted in 2 months, then you waited for too long to go out. And sure, it's like,
yeah. I mean, that's clear. I mean, that's an original quote from me, right? And, I actually came up with that quote right after I founded Italy. And yeah, the Italians, they are still thankful today, right? Some of them say I'm super smart. I don't know. Actually, I don't know, right? Okay. Be honest.
You wrote some books too, right? It's those who called Brockhaus and Lexicon.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Brockhaus was my version 08 of the Lexica of Wikipedia.
Nice.
This is it's actually I think it's one of the best quotes ever because it's so simple, and it's like when you hear the truth, you know it's the truth, right?
Yeah.
It's always the same. And this thing, when I heard it, Reid Hoffman is the guy who founded LinkedIn, and it turned him into, I don't know, $16 billion founder, which is, I mean, these numbers are crazy anyway, no matter how you look at it, but still, we're all afraid of being repelled. We're all afraid that these people out there might not like us. We're all afraid to mess it up. We're all afraid of our parents looking at us and say, like, I knew you were going to fail. I knew it. I'm disappointed, right? So this fear of rejection is big. It's huge. So being deliberate and taking imperfect action, so moving when you know it's not perfect, I think that is one of the most courageous decisions you can make. And that's why I think of all of these founders, they're actually like modern day and age gladiators, right? Like you guys. I mean, the courage it takes, it's almost second to none to really and I have seen people who really wanted to show up with a product, but they didn't dare. And I can tell you, whatever they would have come up with would have been gorgeous. And they're still in the lab, and they're still like screwing around it and trying to improve it. And I have lost years and years in my life doing the same. So I admire that level of courage. And also, I mean, you are pretty young, but you are serving as an example to all of those organizations you work with, right? I mean, if you can do it, they can do it. And that creates this beautiful triangle. I mean, they see you do it, that raises their confidence that they can do it too. What will that do? That will inspire action. And all of a sudden they're moving, right? And everybody else is moving. And that will change some of the culture in Central Europe, and will change it over to maybe it's okay to fail sometimes. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's part of the process even, right? So, and that is all the beauty I get out of this quote from Reid Hoffman. And yeah, I mean, okay, I'm not that smart. Now it's obvious. But still, I mean, there's so much knowledge out there. And then again, knowledge alone isn't helpful, right? I mean, what does it help if I tell you and you do nothing, right? So cool. That was on the hard decision part, right? So I think that's one of the hardest decisions you could make. So how did all those decisions affect your business, or was there any hardest decision you have on top of your mind that you got to talk about right now?
I have to check my notes.
Okay, so I think we had it earlier, but I want to start with one that was like afterwards, I think a big decision for us to really throw it all over when we got to know you, our whole business, how we build it up. And I mean, we were running, and it's a pretty big thing for especially young guys like us, like coming from university and stuff. And then from all of a sudden you have a running business, and then there comes some good looking mentor guy over and says, guys, how about throwing it all over and think it completely newly. So that was hard. Right, that was pretty hard, but yeah, more than worth it. Absolutely.
I mean, just one word. After we met you the first time, it was not really hard. The decision was done after we met. Like it was okay.
The guy didn't bite. Seems to be a friend.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd say that was pretty hard. Don't know. Do you have any
Yeah,
harder decision?
No, it was nothing hard. It was not hard. I mean, we're in the learning process, and that's the thing that we are open for thinking stuff new. And if you see, and that's what you said, if you see the truth, you see it. You know, if you hear it, you know that that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And what you told us, and what you're it's I don't know it in English. Es ist dramatisch klar dastehen. Also, I don't know.
You can see
You can see it very, very, very clearly that it's not the way that we have gone. That's why for me, it was not a really hard decision. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and yet it's so important, and it's non-obvious, right? I mean, nobody talks about it. And in business, I mean, you guys have gone through business school, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I have been through business school and for like 5-6 years and 2 different master studies and everything. They don't tell you. The first time I heard about the idea was in Jim Collins' book here. I had it earlier. I posted it to Instagram for people to read it. The book is called Good to Great. And I think this is like 9 bestsellers in one book. Back in the day when you were allowed to put more than one idea into one book, actually. And yeah, he talks about this flywheel, right? And then second time I heard about it was Sam Ovens scratching with his pen over a whiteboard and explaining the same concept, that you either have a business that is self-improving, gaining knowledge, gaining value with each customer, right? Systematizing, working through feedback. So even if whatever you have in the beginning is crappy, it learns, right? It gets better. And at some point, it will now no longer be crappy, because if it improves like 1% each step, each repetition, it's going to be 3,000% better very soon, very soon. So, and yeah, I mean, another idea that I was lucky to pick up, and I'm more than happy to pass on, of course. And so that was something that affected your business model. It's now systematic. Your product is very systematic. You have taken ownership, so you will guarantee a result. Is that true? Is that right?
Absolutely.
That's right.
I mean, we have a running contract with our customers, and we can tell them, and going to bed with a good feeling in the evening, that we can say, okay, you can measure us in our success, and if we don't bring you the success, then we're the first ones to shut down this contract, because we even put our price structure in a way that we only make profit when our customer makes profit over us.
So you are going and investing.
Right.
What's the other thing you could do? I mean, if you want to have trust, and I think that's a lot, that's a big thing that you teach us, the trust, because that was for me the one big thing when I thought, when you get a business angel or like a mentor that we get with you, you get someone who shows you sneaky tricks or something. The first thing that you show to us is, guys, it's about trust. It's all about trust. And if you trust in yourself that your Lösung, your solution is the best for the customer, then he will believe it. Then he will believe in you and he will trust you. But if you don't do it, don't do it. And that's the point, That's the point. It's not about sneaky or about it's really about to show them we're in the same boat. We are the same. We want the same. We want to reach the same goal. I don't want to finish this project with you fast enough. I want to shoot more videos with you that sell better than the first videos I shot. That's my point when I work with a customer.
Yeah.
If I know how his target group works, and if I know what is working in his field where he's working in, then I'm fucking curious to shoot new videos for him, because then I can make more profit with him. I can give him more results. And I think, that if you think like this, then everybody will understand why this business is running, because you want the best for your customer. That's the simple answer, right?
Yeah, I mean, that would actually translate into something like we really, you really care for the customer, but you can only help them after they sign, right?
Absolutely.
And then selling all of a sudden is no longer the liar's game for those slimy people, right? Those salespeople. It all of a sudden becomes a moral obligation.
Absolutely.
Because if you were not selling, it would mean that either your product wouldn't work, or you wouldn't believe in it, or it's not helpful. It works and you believe in it, but it's actually not helpful. It doesn't create any value, right? But if you have a product that does, and you're not giving it to people, what happens? They don't get the value. What happens next? They don't get those new customers, right? They will jump over to the next shop and buy a video camera and try themselves, and they do it for the first time, and they will obviously fail. It's going to be a disaster for them, right? So all this beautiful new opportunity that is around video for these guys who are being shut down all the time now, right? All this new opportunity is gone. It's crickets. So now you have the moral obligation to sell and feel good while doing it. Also, I think that's something that is easier said than done. Right? So if we talk about the sales process, your sales process today, how does that feel for you and for the customer?
Do you want to answer, or should I?
You can start if you want.
It feels not like selling, because I'm buying the person that sits in front of me too, because the person that sits in front of me will be my partner for minimum a year.
Hopefully, yeah.
That hopefully that's my goal. That is minimum for a year, my customer. And I ask myself, okay, is this a person where my team could work with? And because I have a really good solution, and if someone is like not respectful or something, I'm not anymore in this salesy situation that I want to sell everything. I need to. And no, I'm not in this mood anymore, and I don't go to meetings anymore with this feeling that I am the guy who has to deliver. No, I'm the guy who asks. I'm the guy who asks. I'm the guy who understands. And then if he understands the product of his customer, and if he says, and if I see he's a guy which I want to promote and I want to help because he really wants it, because we are not a show that you just book us and everything works. No, that's not how it's going to happen. That's not how marketing is going to happen. It's a process. And that it's a complete different feeling, because you're not in this situation that you need to, you're in the situation that let's see if the customer is a good guy and if I can help you. And then I say, okay, this guy is a good guy, I can help him, and then I will make him an offer. And that's a real difference for me in selling than as I learned it. I mean, I learned direct selling. I learned the people comes into my shop and I'm selling. And the point is, if they don't buy in this first talk, they will never buy. That was what I learned in my first selling project, in my first sales job that I had. If he's out, he's gone. But that's a really different situation, but because you have not this pressure, Right. I think that was the first thing that first thing that comes in my mind when you ask me about my feelings.
Right.
Yeah, so selling doesn't feel like selling.
No.
Exactly right.
When you're talking to strangers, are you? I mean, you never met these people before, right?
Yeah. With a lot of them, but it's I don't know, but it sounds really,
isn't it? I mean, shouldn't you be afraid to talk to strangers about a product that you sell and then you benefit from selling the product? I mean, shouldn't you be afraid of that conversation?
I don't know this whole point. That I mean, that's the whole point about marketing. When people say, "Oh, marketing," those people are just pushing and pushing. Man, you buy this stuff, and this stuff is helping you. I mean, if you buy a fucking phone for 1,000 euros, you have it in your hand for 2 years every day, and when you work with it, it's 2,000 euros or nothing, or 1,000 euros or nothing for the value that you have in hand. And are you angry, or do you think those smartphone sellers are assholes because they sell it for 1,000 euros? No, they do it because they develop it really good and they have a really good product. And that's the same thing. I don't feel that that liar thing inside,
And now I have an 11th commandment, ladies and gentlemen. Use that.
Man. When I'm in English, this word is necessary.
Cool. Cornelius, what are your thoughts on how the process feels for you and for the customer? Any feedback you get, for instance?
Yeah, basically the same. I mean, we're obviously doing everything together, and especially the sales stuff. But I think I'm in a bit of different situation, because I always had a problem with this pushy selling to customers, because I always had a feeling that it's wrong when I'm not completely behind this product, or when I'm not completely convinced that my product really helps my customer. So in the most like classic companies, at least I wasn't completely convinced that I'm really helping my customer. So what really changed for me is that I can sell, because I wouldn't even call it like that anymore. I can sell with a good feeling now, because it's
Yeah.
not like, so earlier I was always like, there has to be a winner and a loser, but it don't have to be like that, because now we're in a situation, like after what we learned from you, that we go there and team up with the customer. So there's either two winners, or there's nothing, but also not a loser.
Or no loser.
Also no loser. So yeah, I think we don't need that. And yeah, so for me, the sales process got a lot easier, because actually I'm at a point right now where I can meet a new prospect or so, just somebody who tells me, okay guys, I heard you're doing video marketing and that sounds interesting to me, and I want to talk about this now for half an hour. Could we please start?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a real high roller customer, and I really want him. And actually now I'm in a situation, because I know the sales talk, I know the sales process, I know the steps, as we had it about earlier. I know the steps to go through with the customer. I have it in mind. So if the customer says he needs that half an hour right now, then I can give it to him right now. And
Yeah.
if we come together, then we team up and we both win. And if we don't come together, it's still all good, because we just don't match.
Yeah. Yeah. And interesting enough, I mean, you guys focusing on the results you're getting for people will automatically put you in a mode where you're trying to improve the product all the time, right? I mean, where's this video number 6? We're talking about, I don't know, what are we talking about? It's somewhere in the house space, probably, how to get the result they always wanted, how to go from wanting more to having more in 30 days or less, right? That's the video.
Right.
Now you're looking to improve on the call to action, because it will be good for all of your customers, right? Including your own practices. And you have, all of a sudden, you have this feeling of contributing to something greater, and you have the feeling that that you're giving a much more value, and also you are making progress, and then another little progress, and another little progress, and this is something I learned from Tony Robbins. I think progress equals happiness. So he says that and this is really interesting, you can have those 6 Lamborghinis outside of your front door, right? I mean, you're looking over your huge, I don't know, landscapes there, and a Lamborghini in every color. It doesn't make you happy. It's impossible that this would make you happy. But you jump into one of these guys, if you ever happen to have them, right, or want them. I mean, most people don't even want them. And you just insert the Spanish CD, and you jump to lesson 5, and you learn something new. That gives you a feeling of meaning and progress and so forth. And why am I saying this? I can hear it out of everything you're saying, that you love what you're doing.
Absolutely.
It fulfills you.
Yeah.
And I mean, how many people have a business like the one you were building, a project business, and they look successful, but they are super unfulfilled. They go home at night and they feel empty and everything. So I salute you guys. I applaud you for taking these steps. Now, I know I'm extending your time a little here, so thanks again for hanging around. So if we had this, I got a time machine here. I'm showing this has to stay between us, right? Promise.
Sure.
So I'm showing to nobody, but we can hop in there and visit your younger friends, your younger selves. What would be a question you would ask your younger self?
That's a very good question. I don't know if you have.
I have an idea. Yeah.
Go for it first. Think about it for a second longer.
Don't overthink. First thing, or why do you overthink? The question, and why? What takes you from going out with an idea and tell it to people? Don't just think and think. Why don't you go out? Why don't you go out? And if you can get one really good answer after this podcast, then then think about it. But there is no good answer. You can go out in every point. You can try it. You can do everything. You can try it. You can build a landing page with no knowledge, nothing, and test your idea. If someone clicks on it, if someone sees it, it doesn't cost anything. You can build up a Facebook channel to talk about it. Talk about your idea. Yeah. That's not a question, but yeah.
Yeah, but the question, you articulated it, right? The question would be, what's holding you back?
Yeah.
And this, I love the question already, right? You can have we can do like an article series or something, like questions to my younger self and yours. What's the meaning of life, especially mine?
Yeah.
Okay, what other questions would you ask your younger self?
Yeah, so I think I would go to a similar direction, because for me it was also like, when we started there, I don't know what convinced us from this, but we were super convinced that we are too young, that people will ask what the hell we want to tell them about marketing and stuff like that. And so I think I would also ask the question, do people really kill you when you're not perfect, or when you say something wrong? So, because there was sorry, there was like this really absurd thinking in the beginning that like everything will go south when you do one mistake, when there's one mistake with a customer or so. But over all this process where we basically opened up to the customer, we basically committed to this imperfectness, and that gave us so much freedom to tell the customer, bro, sorry, we messed up here big time, but we're working our butts off to get a hold of it and to bring it all together, because we want you to profit, because only then we profit. So yeah, it just got so easy. And on a second thought, it's just not so important to always look so professional and so perfect, when you can look human and work together, really. So I think that's what I would ask.
And
myself.
this question, but opens up a whole thing in my head. I think we could do like 3 episodes about this. But
Yeah,
Marcus, back to you. Thank you for this nice question.
the entrepreneur's mindset. Yeah, there's a lot to fix out there, and at the same time, I mean, also in that piece, right? You don't have to be perfect to start, but you have to start to get somewhere, right? Another of those quotes from my calendar here that I'm happily sharing. It's really interesting once you embody these things and you start really working on them, right? Or working them through your system. And then you discover these sliding door moments, right? Where something seems to open. And then all of a sudden you have to go through. You have to take the step. There's no other, I could use the F word. Lucas?
You already took Tony Robbins, so it's over. He uses the F word a lot more times than me.
Yes. So there's no other chance. You got to get through this door, or you will regret it for the rest of your life. And I think that we are trying to not regret too much, and that is what actually will cause the regret in the long run. That's no news, and it's especially true in business. I mean, we're all here because we want to create something, and we're all here because we want to contribute. And the interesting piece is the last things we do in business is contribute and create. So most businesses don't do that ever. They all want to do that, but they never get started doing it. And then like I'm working with people who are like completely overwhelmed in their business. They are like, they don't have time to see their kids. And you would say that is an exception. It's not, especially right now. And a lot of people found businesses so they have more free time or something. It's never going to happen. And then you are all overwhelmed. You are taking care of the payroll. You are taking care of the people, and everybody needs to do some meaningful work, and they need to pay and everything. And then they are overwhelmed. So what do? They add more people to a business that has no system. There's nothing systematic going on. It's not like you have the machine in the best sense of the word, right? I mean, something predictable, something repeatable, something that creates results for a lot of customers. And then you add people so they can grow and they can help you improve the thing. No, they have like a chaos, and they add people to the chaos. Yeah. And in hoping it will set them free one day, so they then could create and contribute. And I got to tell you guys, I mean, I like the approach that you have taken, and the approach that you are sharing out there with your customers. I like that a lot more. I think it will eventually empty the matrix much faster than than anything else we can do. So thanks for doing that. Thanks for being these modern gladiators. Thanks for taking the time today. And I hope you will be having a lot of success with this. And we promised, by the way, the guys here in front of the screen something. Do you remember what that was?
Yeah, of course.
What was it?
We never forget a promise we give.
No.
We can happily promise everyone who wants to join us in our studio here in Bühl-Igelheim in Germany, in the wunderschöne Pfalz, that we want to offer you a free interview video of you about your business. We can go several minutes. We will beauty it up afterwards. We will cut it. We will finish it that you can post it in social media.
And we will post it.
And we will post it. And we even have a lot of tips how you can use it best for your business. So it's all free. It's all just a tryout, because sometimes it's just about to share the love, right?
And the question, how do we say it in English? Es ist ein Überzeugungsangebot. Wie hatten wir das letztens formuliert? Das war doch seine. Wir wollen auf die moralisch anständigste Weise bestechen.
Ethically correct. It's an ethical bribe, right?
Yeah, right.
Grab the ethical bribe.
You to work with us.
Yeah, because we want to show you what we can do and how it could work out for you, and we are happy to meet you.
So, and when is a good time to grab the ethical bribe?
Directly, you can write us on our Instagram profile. You can text us on Facebook. You can text us on our website. We're happy to hear you.
And the best time, we're so good at calendar speech today, right? So the best time was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now.
But really, jokes aside, our calendar is filling up right now really quick. So if you really want to grab that chance, please do it fast, because sure, you will get your space, but we can't promise you that you don't have to.
And I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. I see what you guys are doing out there. It's tremendous. And for everybody, if you ever wanted to have a cool interview produced where also good interviews are made by the questions, right? And you know that these guys here, they're not trying to produce more video. They are trying to produce more impact. So give it a shot. You will not be disappointed. And with that said, shall we call it a day, sailors?
Let's call it a day, Captain.
Yes, sir.
On down again. See you around. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.